I'd like to entertain a motion to return to regular session.
I so move.
Second.
Ms. Dillard? Yes. Ms. Givens?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Whereas the Martinsville City School Board has convened a closed meeting of the state pursuant to an affirmative vote and in accordance with the provisions of Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas Section 2.2-3711 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the school board that such closed session was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Martinsville City School Board hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in closed session to which this certification applies, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed sessions were heard, discussed, and considered. Ms. Dillard?
Yes.
Ms. Gibbons?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
I so move.
Second.
Ms. Dillard? Yes. Ms. Gibbons?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Do we have any registered speakers? No. Awards and recognition. I'm going to go a little bit out of order. Not on this one, sorry. First, we have Odyssey of Divine presented by Mr. Toole and Elizabeth Lynch.
Mr. Hagenberg is taking my spot.
Got her. Appreciate it. All right, Veronica, you want to do something?
Hello, my name is Veronica Smith.
Hello, Veronica.
Hello.
My name's Noah.
My name is Naima. My name is Matthew.
I'm Liz Lynch.
I'm Greg Hackenberg.
And we would like to talk to you about our trip for the Odyssey of the Mind World Competition. We placed 7th in the world for our skit and 2nd place in spontaneous. Christopher, would you like to take us away and talk to us about spontaneous?
Yes. For our spontaneous, it was like.
Help him.
Take your time.
It's like a spontaneous. You can go Naima. Spontaneous was basically a open-minded problem that we had to do. So we basically had no preparation, and we were given a task that we had to solve.
For us, our spontaneous was like a big box with little tiny box, and each box has different items, and all of us had to pick up the box and pick the items and say what can we use that item.
And 5 points or more is a creative thinking one, but a common answer would be 1 point. So you would try to get as many creative points, but if you start kind of if your brain goes blank during it, it would be best to get a common answer than to waste time, because you are time. Nikira, will you tell us about the opening and closing ceremony?
The ceremony, closing and opening, was a very engaging and interesting experience for our first time being at World. It was very fun. It was very nice to see all the different teams from all around the world, especially Mexico, because they were very excited to be there. Also, we had a lot of fun at we did a light show. It was a laser show. So basically, all the lights in the stadium were cut off, and there would be lasers everywhere, and we got light sticks and just got to wave them around.
And where were Worlds held again?
Michigan State University.
Okay.
Me and Naima are going to talk about our long term or our skit. We were problem 5, which is the most dramatic problem ever. And we were the last problem, so it was 4 more other than us, and you basically get a skit at the beginning time of Odyssey, and you have to come up with a creative skit. It only is 8 minutes, and you have to do everything yourself. So you have to make props, you have to make costumes, you have to come up with your own dialogue. It was a lot of fun, and you have to be very creative, because that's what gets you to World, or gets you to the next thing, even state.
I think what got us to state in general was the creative minds behind all of this. Like,
all of us had like something we put together, like we were making like a big like pizza, I guess. So like we were able to make like the bread, the dough, yeah, and then the tomato sauce, and then the cheese and the toppings. And then when we put it in the oven, it baked. It came all together because we added, after each level that we passed, like regionals and state and world, we added more to our skit and we took away what was necessary and what was. Because looking back on our skit for regionals, I feel like it changed and kind of evaluated throughout the courses we went through. And now Noah is going to talk about pens and crayons.
I would.
If you guys have towels, take them out.
Okay, we'll collect things in a minute.
They'll fall out. It's normal.
So pretty much anywhere you went, as long as there were Odyssey kids, there would be pin trading. So in the cafeteria, there was a whole like section, like a lounge area, just dedicated to pin trading, and you could buy these vinyl towels with all your pins on it.
Do you all have a pen? Is there a specific pen for each school, or?
Yeah. There are state pens, but there are some teams who have their own pens. We weren't able to make those.
Can I ask how many kids were at this event?
A lot.
Like,
They built a March Madness stadium like that. Completely full of your
Field goal, wow.
Filled. And how many teams total?
Yeah.
Wow.
What would you say?
It was their basketball stadium.
Yeah.
It was their basketball
And it was
stadium.
completely filled, like,
Michigan State basketball stadium.
That's wild.
anybody have an estimate of teams? There were 739 teams there.
Wow.
And each team has 7 members, all the same age category. Elementary, go ahead, I'll let you go.
It depends on what division you are in. Since we are Division 2, it would be middle schoolers. For Division 1, it would be elementary schoolers. And Division 3 and Division 4 is high school and college.
Sounds like a great experience just going there. One of the coolest things I thought, and I enjoyed watching them, was they had to learn how to navigate the dining hall. We slept in a dorm for almost a week. How was that?
Get used to it.
It was an experience. Yes.
They used common areas of the dorm and met other people there.
Yes. We actually met another Virginia team. I think they were from Leesburg. I think so. And they were really fun, and it was just a really great.
Can we see your pen?
Yes.
So would these just give your person, just give them to you Walker. You all have like they've been just bouncing everywhere.
That's why I was asking.
is it live? Is it really? Where? Is that live?
That's cool. That is great. It is. You make kids, they learn, they live, they be friends for life. Yeah. You gotta make friends in other places. You keep in contact, you guys have.
This one's less. This one's less.
Hey, cuz, yes, you make sure the kids have their own meals this year. Right. Yeah, let us
It
know.
was a very quick turnaround from state
From
to
the
world.
states and that, right, we're gonna make sure our kids have plenty of kids.
You put somebody on
Let
notice
us
and be
know.
on hold.
Mr. Carroll, Matt, they might all over the country, both grades, things like that, they make friends for life, for both places.
So, can we get a picture of you guys? Was there anything else you want to talk about?
If I could just say real
You
quick.
can.
Yeah. Super proud of these kids and super grateful for a school district, school board, administrators, everybody who helps support us and promote after school programs like this. So thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts.
We'd like to get a picture.
That's awesome.
Cal, let's take it on the stand. Let's get everybody on the stand. Come on
Yeah,
over,
come on
guys.
over.
Yeah, come on over. Coaches, you guys gotta get in the picture too. Squeeze it in. Great job here. Thank you. Thank you. Great job. That'd be worth something, but they keep the, that's something you can come back in.
Oh, here.
What is it?
Next, we have the Patrick Henry chapter of the DAR Award. Zaenia Talley, I think, received that award.
Citizenship award, is she here?
She couldn't be with us tonight, so we'll move on. Congratulations to her, by the way. Next, we have Arts in Education Award presented by Dr. Dixon. Brian Lane received that Arts in Education Award, the Clyde Hooker Award.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am standing before you. Mr. Lane, he had another engagement. He went to spend some time with family in Pennsylvania, so he wanted me to make sure you all knew that he truly appreciates the honor to be here, but he's spending some much needed time with his family. Mr. Lane received the Piedmont Arts Award in Education for some of the work that he did with poetry. Piedmont Arts, in tandem with a gentleman by the name of Roscoe Burnham, they provided our students some instruction with poetry. And the students then took those lessons and started doing some competitive poetry in the school, in the classrooms. They had some competitions where they invited some parents and different things. So Piedmont Arts thought it was so awesome that they wanted to recognize him, and they awarded him that award in education for that work he did. So again, Mr. Lane wanted me to make sure you all knew. Thank you for allowing him to come. He regrets he couldn't be here, but he's really, really proud of the students. He wanted me to make sure you all knew.
So he's an English, AP English and dual enrollment teacher.
Yes, he is.
Also yearbook.
Yearbook as well.
And he's busy because he works with the Patriot players, the plays also, right?
Yes, he does.
Very busy.
Yes, he does. So he helps out with that too.
Well, thank Mr. Lane from us.
I will.
For his dedication, and it sounds interesting. I would have liked to hear that poetry.
Oh, it was really good. It was really awesome. My kids are talented.
It's creative. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr.
Thank you so
Dixon.
much.
Thank you.
Dr. Dixon. And next we have DHSL Class 2 Outdoor Track Champion, Akia Mitchell.
Coach Dodd.
Good to see
Thank
y'all
you for
again.
coming, sir.
So I've read a little bit about you. You won the 100-meter dash at JMU. So tell us a little bit about it.
It was nerve-wracking. Honestly, because it was like all the other times I went there, I never won actually. So it really wasn't expecting it. I was just trying to get out there and do my best.
And you are a sophomore, correct? Or rising junior. So they got 2 more years than you.
Yeah. That's awesome. Have you ever tried a quarter time? 400 meters. 400 meters, one lap. But you ran cross country before, right? Right. So your distance, the distance that I used to try to get you guys to do, which is a sprint. So that's why I was asking, have you ever heard in the 400 coach?
Don't cut me. Nah, that was a struggle for my girl.
Okay.
Yeah, but she showed
looking
tried
like a true sprinter.
Yeah.
And all of the bike.
Yeah, she showed tried it. And she said, I tried, but I ain't gonna be good at it. And she's an athlete that when it comes to something like that, she's gonna give you 100%. She tried it, because we tried a whole lot of things, but she said,
Great.
I don't believe I can do it.
That 100 win took a lot out of you when it came to 220. Or 200 meters, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We have to
Just go back a minute.
We're very proud of you, very proud. Can I have a picture with you?
I mean,
Coach, I want to tell you something. From Coach 12 years in a row, she turned out. She turned out champion. I want to tell her this.
I did. She was a quarter. That's what I said.
I want to tell you, from coach to coach, you turn out champion after champion. I read about you, I hear about you. I just want to say thank you for what you do for our kids. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
All of this.
Well,
Yeah.
that's part of it, all right. 1, 2, 3.
Great job. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for what you do. All of it.
Man, good stuff.
Proud of you, girl. Outstanding student.
You win.
You win.
Okay, but you made it.
But I win. So next on to the,
Thank you. All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
on to the information agenda. We had an insert in there. We're gonna do, Shauna Hines is gonna bring us some information about CTE.
Good evening.
Good evening, Shauna.
I just wanted to make sure I let the board know how CTE and Fine Arts ended our school year. First off, major clarity, we were named power users for the second year in a row. We had usage of the program for 76%. Of course, I would like it higher, and we're gonna push for that again next year. If you don't know, Major Clarity is a program that we use for academic career planning for our students to keep track of what their future endeavors are past high school into the career or into college. Last year, yes, we did participate in our first, and hopefully it will not be our last annual Go Tech Dex competition. You just saw Mr. Hackenberg. Hackenberg was the lead on that competition, and Miss Jessica Clairvoy was the assistant. They both had teams, so our students built Dex IQ robots, and they had to play against other teams. And this year's game was called Slap Shot, which, they just pick up a puck and they played. Our students, Greg Hackenberg's team placed second overall, and Ms. Clairvoy's was named most energetic. So again, that was our first, and they'll have of course, hopefully they're going to keep going. And from what I could tell by the news, it's not going away. It's not. Again, we also started, and hopefully we'll be able to continue our annually career expo. That was the first time last year in October. We invited various companies, and they participated with our students. And our students from Make Your Business and Entrepreneurship classes actually completed a complete business plan, created a product, and sold their product. Because of that, we raised enough money to start a fund called Workforce Development, where students who are currently students, not students who just graduated, if you're a current student at Martinsville High School and you are working and you need support in buying goggles, safety shoes, your shirt, anything work related, that fund, and I am hoping I can start getting some sponsorships, which I think is a good thing. So I'm pretty sure we're going to keep it going. We can help those students get the items they need to continue to start their work career now instead of later. Our CNA program, we had 5 students to complete the program. We had 3 to pass the Virginia State Boards of Certified Nursing. nursing aid assessment and are licensed. That means I can go up there to the Virginia board, type in their name, and find their license. They are fully licensed. I was so excited to see it. We are waiting on 2 more. They tested June 1st, so I'm waiting on those other 2 students, and hopefully they pass.
How old do you have to be in that program?
In that program is only for seniors, unless we don't have any seniors that's interested, then we go down to juniors. So it's priority seniors and then juniors. We do have a criteria, and I'd be glad to see what that criteria is for CNA, because there are some Patrick and Henry requirements, and there are some Martinsville City Schools requirements.
And we only have one open for juniors this time, didn't it? Wasn't only one?
Yeah, it was only one, yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Because,
looking at that.
and that was based off the counselors. This time I did a thorough investigation and some interviews. Students have been picked, but things can change, and students may decide by June, end of June, I no longer want to do this, so we do have a wait list. And currently we have one student that I know of that's actually using her credentials and actively working as a CNA.
Is she still in school?
No, she just
graduated.
She just graduated. She was working back in December when she first got a certificate, when she completed the class, and so she has extra credentials. So I'm pretty sure her raise probably got a little raise.
Good.
Staying with healthcare, this spring we have 16 students to pass CPR, actually have the card, and they can save lives. Ms. Hines has the card, but they told me to call 911 because I panicked, so I probably trust these 16 kids to save a life. Out of our graduating class, part of their graduating requirements is to have industry credentials. In this graduating class, 116, they had 196 credentials amongst all of them, and 48 of them had 2 or more credentials to their name. So they can use these now with their future. They train, they pass the test, and this is not just literally a time test. They do have some accommodations, and these are tests that are used nationwide. They're just not for the state of Virginia.
So tell me a little bit about the credentials, because I don't.
So industry credentials like workplace readiness is about employability skills. That's a 100-question quiz. Our kids are timed. They have an hour, and if you have accommodations, you may have extended time. That's the normal general one that most people use. Then you have, with entrepreneurship and business management, you'll have business communications, and that test is about 50 questions. If you decide to go into become an administrative assistant, you can put that on your resume and say that you passed this test. Sports medicine is a new course, and she, as a first-year teacher, I'm super proud of Ms. Amber Corns. She took it upon herself to start a new test, which is also nationally not required, but recognized. It was not the data she was looking for, but she pushed it, and we did have at least 1 kid to pass. So it's nice to have those type of things on your resume when you're looking for jobs, especially in healthcare or administrative assistant work, business management, and those types of jobs. So that's where those industry positions come from. Internships. So we did have almost 10 students in internships. One of our students that was with Ms. Samantha Wall, she was with the Virginia Museum of Natural History for the entire year. Because of her dedication and her high interest in the field, her employers decided to help her on the fast track and give her a scholarship to go ahead and start summer schooling at Patrick and Henry Community College, which she plans on going. So we did get a scholarship for that student out of the internship, and hopefully we can continue those things for our kids. And that's it for CTE. Fine Arts, Performing Arts Academy was created this year. We usually are called Drama Club from grades 3 to 12. This year we were able to add in career and college into the courses. We decided to do 2 shows. Moment of silence.
They both went well.
Ooh, honey. They decided to do 2 shows, and we made it. But I don't think we're gonna ever do that again. However, I've been looking at some other avenues to take to fix that void, because a lot of people are asking for it again, because some kids can do it in the spring, but can't do it in the fall, and vice versa. Because of doing 2 productions, and we've been doing annual musicals, we have been able to raise now enough funds to start our own performing arts academy scholarship for career in college. We gave out 3 scholarships. 3 of those students have to be senior their spring year and be in the musical. You don't have to be prior. You don't have to be in there all for 4 or 5 years. But the students we gave them to was with us 4 to 5 years in every production, and we gave them all 3 small scholarships to get them ready for school. And we made sure to make it college and career. It does not have to be performing arts because everybody's not going to go sing and do film. We want to make sure we're general across the board. So, and those are the things that happen in CPE and fine arts.
That's wonderful. A lot happened in CTE.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me ask you a question. What is that certification where you find out how much computer knowledge a student might have? Like if they're proficient in Word or whatever?
Oh, Word. So you have Word, Microsoft, the whole suite. So you can get a credential in Word, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and those things as well. So you can also add those to your resumes. And if teachers are interested, we're more than welcome to put you on up there and do a couple of practice tests and take the test with us.
Because I see a lot of those in job advertisements. They want to know if you're proficient.
Yes.
In which language. That's cool.
Yes.
That's great. Students should be very well prepared.
We're trying to get there.
Does that include pivot tables and everything?
Yes. You're talking about, yeah.
That's Angela's special.
Yes. We've had some teachers that ask for Excel, and that program will help. And it's not just taking a test, it's actually a few lessons you can learn and practice before actually taking the exam. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very informative.
Next, we have the summer feeding program presented by Mrs. Sheila Williams.
Good evening. How are you? I'm just here to officially announce that we are participating in the summer feeding program again this summer. We are open Monday through Thursday, but Friday meals can be picked up on Thursday from any of our open sites. These free meals are provided to any child, any student, doesn't even have to be a Martinsville City School student in our community, ages 1 to 18. And we have our various times at each one of the schools. We have flyers all over the town, or city that is, all over the city. All over the city of Martinsville, and every school is open for those free meals. And the Martinsville High School will remain open through July 21st to provide meals Monday through Thursday, and again, Friday meals are available. And we partner with Boys and Girls Club with their sites and provide free meals to their students Monday through Friday.
So any child, any age group can go to any school and pick up a meal?
Yes, they do not have to be in attendance at that particular school. They don't even have to be a Martinsville City School student.
This
Just
started,
be in the community.
when did this start?
It started on June 5th.
So can you get a feel for how many you had coming?
Yes, so far week 1 was last week. We served 1,751 breakfasts, and lunches we served 1,843. And we had about 25 of these meals were picked up, mainly from Martinsville High School.
And the rest were on site?
Yes, and the others were on site.
Prior to COVID, didn't we used to have only like 2 sites that you could come to?
Yes, we did. Prior to COVID, we only opened up Albert Harris and Martinsville High School. But even prior to that, go back a little bit further, it was always just Martinsville High School.
Okay, that's
was
what I
the
thought.
only school that
so
was
this year,
open.
it's all of them.
All schools.
Okay, that's what I
all
thought.
schools,
Okay.
yes. Well, we saw during COVID that there was a greater need. Instead of packing up all the meals and having the other schools closed, why not just have them all open to accommodate our students that are attending the summer programs also, so that everybody
the
can
fact
get
that you're having it in each school help the attendance, you think, or help more people to come in?
I'd like to say so. I don't know, but hey, it's been great. It has been absolutely wonderful.
Because I was concerned
today,
last year.
Patrick Cameron was over 100, close to 120 kids today. So that was pretty good.
Our
you know?
concern last year was transportation. But the fact that you've opened all the schools, opened those doors, that helps. I'm sure.
Definitely helps.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So
I'm sorry, Mr. Jones.
it's gone great. Even at
Transportation.
Clearview, our kids are enjoying their hot meals each day, so, yes, sir.
Transportation was my question.
Oh,
Has there ever
okay.
been any discussion of future to do any deliverance at certain points?
Now, we can do delivery, that would be on a case-by-case basis. Here, they would have to request that, there's some documentation they have to complete. It's not like it was during COVID, that we could just get on the buses and ride out. Yes, USDA has taken all of that flexibility away. Yes.
Could you
Even
station,
for-
could you have it at a station, like, say for example, at a church? Could you
Yes,
have the
we
meals
could
there?
do that if
So
there was
if we
a
had a
need.
bus on wheels, you could set it.
Well,
But any church, you've got some churches participate.
No,
You
we
do
do
not have,
not. Not
but in the
this year.
past, didn't you have some
We
sites?
used to,
Yeah.
yes.
I think it was
And
sites, but it
we
wasn't
did.
inside, it was outside.
It was outside.
And the children had to stay there?
Yep, they had to stay there, and that would still be the case, yes. Now, with the citywide, community-wide back-to-school program, we have received a waiver that we can offer take-home meals for those particular events.
Okay.
And of course, each day they can take it home as well. They just have to fill out a form, because we have to submit that to DOE at the end for
But
any
there's
meals
no
that go
opportunity
off-site.
to get a waiver to deliver, there's no opportunity.
I mean,
for
that is in place. You could do that, but parents would have to request that, and it's a documentation piece.
Okay.
And then someone would have to be available to go deliver it, all of that.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
But
So-
yes, that is a.
And I'm glad, so there are stipulations on it.
Yes, quite a few.
But it can't
Not
be done.
as
Especially
Okay.
since, especially since
Yes,
COVID.
so if there's someone out there that's inquiring about needing a home delivery meal or something, they just need to contact me.
What's the
And
criteria,
then we
Ms.
can
Williams,
do
is
it.
being a medical, what's the criteria?
There is none.
There is none for
none.
delivery,
No,
okay.
no. Mm-mm.
Just
But-
paperwork.
Yes, but because so many of our students are actually participating in the summer programs, they're coming to us, we feel like
So you're already there,
a
and they can
large
get the meal.
population of
That's
our
good.
students are already being served.
That's
Yes,
good.
sir.
That's good.
Man, we want our summer program to be big. The instructions there, feedings there, everything what they
Mhm.
need.
Mhm.
Just powerful.
Activities are there, it's all there in one location,
It's
air
all
conditioning and
supervised.
everything.
Well, thank you, Sheila.
Yes.
As always.
And I do have some flyers.
Okay.
Want to give you a take home?
I noticed that some of the schools have banners out. I know Mr.
Yes,
Dixon has
we
his
did.
banners
Yes,
out.
we wanted to gift him with two because Martinsville High School is so accessible to the public.
Thank you.
So, and the other schools do have the yard signs. We just don't have the big banners at the other schools, but meals are available at every school, even Clearview.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Next, we have PBIS, presented by Dr. Tammy Vaughn.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here to give an update on our PBIS and the progress that we've made, and that's the positive behavior intervention system that we've been a part of now since about 2013.
13
And-
years, yeah.
Yeah, we've been, we're good. Part of our program starts out, it's, VTSS is what is the big umbrella, and that's Virginia Tiered System of Support. And under that, there's an academic piece and there's a behavior piece. And our academic piece is run very well, very tight with the data. We're constantly looking at data, adjusting instruction. And so that's what's happening also on the behavior side. And so we have a division-wide team that meets monthly. We meet the fourth Monday of every month. We get together. We talk about the attendance. We look at our overall attendance for the division. We talk about areas of need there and our discipline. Those have been the two areas that we've really been focusing on because there's so much out there. And so we decided that's where our focus will be for the last 2 years. We look and see how can we support our school teams and our schools, what can we do at a division level. There's principals on that team, there's school school teachers, lead teachers that are on that team also, and then the division. We have superintendents, we have pretty much a lot of people here at the division are on that team, and we all sit and problem solve and try to help the schools meet the needs that they have there. One of the other things that we do, we get a yearly grant for this. So far, that's on a year basis. They'll send them out. It started out 30, I think we said 34,000. Now we're down. They're giving out 24,000 because more divisions are now part of this program. But we use that grant money to support incentives for students, for materials, for positive behavior interventions. We also use it for professional development and areas like that. For instance, this year we have taken this year and last year we took groups down to the Southeastern Conference on School Climate and heard some wonderful speakers, and it brought back lots of good information to help with our schools and helping to make sure that we are supporting our students. And that's always been a great thing for us. We have school teams. Each school has tiered teams. Most of them, all schools have a tier 1 team, and that's for all students. And that's creating the school-wide expectations, and that's working with the behavior and to teach students what the expectations are, how to behave in school. And they come up with incentives. They come up with great ways to set goals and to have incentives. I think you've seen them with the dodgeball games that they've had and some pies in the face and different things like that they've had for the school incentives. Then we have tier 2 teams that help with students who need a little more support and more specialized support, and then tier 3 teams who are really working with the functional behavior assessments and the behavior intervention plans. So we have support throughout. We work with the community, have some community members with that. Each school has a coach from the division, and it's geared towards their needs. There's tier 1 team coaches that we go in and work with them, and then tier 2 is Dr. Whirl. It goes in and works with each of the schools, making sure they have support there. And then our tier 3 team is Felicia Preston, because she has a lot of community connections and helps support that. This past year, last year, we added in the SEL, this social emotional learning screener, and we started it out last year, getting it in place and getting things going, and we had a good start. But this year, we hit the ground running, and we performed the assessment 3 times this year. And what we do is identify students who are in need of support in K through 2. That is teacher reported. The teachers fill out the forms for the students. But 3 through 12, the students are self-reporting. And we've caught lots of areas where we found students who needed special attention that we would have never known they needed that support. And our school counselors have done an excellent job, and with the principals creating plans as to hit immediate reactions. We get the results back. Dr. Whirl's theme is, if you screen, you must intervene, and we've hit that really well with our school. Our school counselors are doing an excellent job with that. We look forward to expanding that and making sure that every child in our division is screened 3 times a year, because trauma may not just happen at the beginning of the year. It may happen in the middle, and it may happen at the end. So we want to make sure they have that opportunity to get the support that they need. We do an evaluation at the end of the year. The schools do of their own. It's called a TFI, Tiered Fidelity Inventory, to make sure that we are following the PBIS protocols, making sure we have our teams in place. The areas that we show weakness in, that's how we make our action plan for the next year. The same thing with the division. We do a DCA, which is a division assessment, and that's what we create our action plan with to support our schools. This year, one of our areas, or 2 of our areas we're going to be working with, is gaining community partners, working more, bringing partners in to support this and making sure that our partners outside of our school system know our goals for our expectations for our students, so that they are able to work with us also. And also more parent involvement. We have a couple parents on the school teams, and we want to expand that and make sure that we have a parent representative and a student representative on our school teams also. Our goal is to make sure that our schools are safe and that our students have supports and interventions they need to be successful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Bond, thank you. I really appreciate the data. And board, this will be the information we'll be getting monthly.
most powerful part of it is the schools talking among themselves too. Because when one school is successful, the other ones are asking, what are you doing? And then we see that replicated, and that's been the power of having the teams together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Wellness Triennial Assessment presented by Felicia Preston and Sheila Williams.
She would have been here already, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. We are here today to present just a little snippet of our MCPS Triennial Student Wellness Assessment. As you already know, we have policy that is geared toward wellness for our division. And on the front page of your assessment, that is the turkey trot that Patrick Henry Elementary School did in the fall. And what we tried to do is tap into what schools were doing in order to kind of make wellness a priority in each of the schools. So this triennial assessment, we have representation on our division wellness committee from each of the schools. We have 2 individuals from each of the schools as a representative, and then myself and Sheila. Next year we will be doing some reorganization. Since COVID, we really have not been able to get the community stakeholders at the table. Prior to COVID, we did have representatives from BDH. We had representatives from other community agencies who were really interested in student wellness, health and wellness. So that's one of our goals that Sheila will talk about shortly. But so our division wellness committee got together. We did some different things this year. Sheila will also go over that. But one of the things that we did was we conducted an assessment for each of the schools to see kind of where we are to assess in 3 different areas. The 3 areas is nutrition education, nutrition services and food and beverages, and then physical activity. And what the schools do, they answer questions that are specifically related to those areas. And each school gets a point or some percentages of points determined about what's going on in their school. Now, our policy does not automatically align with the assessment, so some of it is kind of up to interpretation, but those are some of the things that we will talk about next year. So we use this assessment tool and the information that we get from it to create goals and then see where we were the first triennial assessment. This is only our second one, so we look to see where we were the first time, to see where we are now, and then we created goals moving forward.
Okay. Some of our goals, we want to make sure, one, that we stay committed to completing all of the goals that we set in place, 3 years ago. Some of them are fully executed, some partially, but we are going to continue to stay the course and work on those for the upcoming year. All our schools have various wellness goals that they are also working on, and they will come up with action plans as to how they will continue meeting their goals so that we can achieve 100%. Some of the goals that were identified in the first plan were that all schools will have a functioning school wellness representative, at least 2, and so that's goal partially met for the most part. Our second goal was the nutrition goal. We had 80% of the schools will be fully compliant with fundraising, with only healthy items being offered, meaning that they are meeting the Smart Snack guidelines, or that we are selling non-food items during the school hours. And at that particular time, 50% of the schools indicated in the survey, in the little survey that they completed, that they are in compliance. And as of 2023, 78.8% of our schools have indicated that they are fully in compliance. So that is quite an achievement, just trying to find some alternative ways to fundraise for the schools outside of food sales. And then the physical activity goal, 80% of our schools will be fully compliant with prohibiting recess from being withheld due to punishment. And at the time of the first triennial, 60% of the schools indicated current compliance. As of June 2023, 80.4% of schools indicated that it is now currently in compliance. Goals identified for the next 3 years, what we're going to continue to work on. We're going to restart our fresh fruit and vegetable program. That had to kind of go away during COVID because of vendor supply and all that. So we're back in the game now. We're excited. We're looking at a local vendor actually to provide our produce. So hopefully we can get our preschoolers and our elementary school students back into the habit of having those fresh fruits and vegetables as an additional snack alternative, okay? Also, our second goal is to work with individual schools to increase any section in this assessment that they've worked on so that every section is at least 80% or higher to reach our next triennial, by our next triennial review. And then we want to expand our reach for our division wellness committee. That means we want to increase the community stakeholders, have more students and parents engaged in this process. Some of the highlights that we do want to highlight that came out of the first 3 years of our wellness plan, we completed the Wellness Week campaign in the spring of 2023. We completed the Successful Crunch Day, and we did that every single year. We continue to participate in the summer feeding program. Now we're participating in the CACFP program, which is the Child Adult Care Food Program, which provides healthy snacks for students after school at no cost. We have completed at least 2 years of Rev Your Bev campaign. We have we have some elementary school gardens, participate in international walk to school activities, and monthly newsletters are going home to our families, not only from the Nurses Corner, but also at our school. We have monthly newsletters that go home to all of our families that's related, particularly for preschoolers, on health and wellness activities and family engagement activities. And then also we have added more of our community partners to help us have health fairs and what was it? It was our Cub Clinic. So just engaging those community partners, bringing those to the schools, and bringing those resources to our families at our schools.
Thank you.
Thank you for the extensive. Now, this is the yearly report, correct?
It's a triennial.
But now you work on it.
Every year.
Right.
Yes.
You work on it every year. So we really appreciate the results that we've been getting, and the snacks. I know even though people crave donuts, candy bar, I know, and candy bar, but I was explaining to Ms. Dillard again, it kind of prohibits all those fundraising things for coming to school. Because when we went to school, you could sell candy, for your club.
Chocolate. And you still can, but only in moderation, and you only have 30 days period, including the weekend, per school for those unhealthy snacks.
So at one point, didn't they mention taking soft drinks and sugar
Actually,
drinks out of school?
as of today, you can have diet soft drinks to sell at the high school level. We just haven't stepped out there yet because so many years we beat it down, all the nutrition councils, everybody said, oh, soft drinks were so unhealthy. So I feel kind of like a heel to go back on that, to now come back and say, hey, now we can have diet soft drinks. We can sell coffee to the kids. We can sell unsweetened tea to the kids. I mean, come on, what kind of image are we putting out there? So we're just kind of been slow to move in that direction, but you can have it. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Did you have a question?
No. We'll check. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on to the consent agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our last board meeting of May 8th, and also the minutes from our June 6th special meeting or call meeting.
as well as the financial report ending May 31st of 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Miller?
Just a second. Travis here, Travis is not
No,
here.
he's not.
Okay, okay. Yes.
Ms. Gibbons?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Motion carried. Next on to the action agenda, the VSBA policy service contract for year 2024.
Okay. Thank you. Still, basically, we're entering into the contract with the VSBA, which of course looks at our policies, passes down current policies, and a lot of free counseling too when we have rules that we don't really know how to interpret something. The fee, of course, is $2,500, and it's a standard fee. Also gives you some opinion. If you have a question, you can go as far as to the Attorney General himself, the person who enforces Virginia law. So it's been a great partnership. It will not write your policy for you, but it will tell you how to interpret it. So it's a very valuable resource, and I hope that the board would continue to have us be a part of that. Of course, they have workshops. They'll come in, do in-services, a lot of services, and well worth the money.
Does this include the legal portion of it
Yes,
too? Or we
that's
can
all of
contact
it.
legal if needed? Okay.
It's all of it. Case law, Attorney General, statutory law, all of it.
Is there any questions? I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the VSBA policy service contract for school year 2024 as presented.
So moved.
Second. Thank you so much.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Gibbons?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Thank
Next, we have federal consolidated application funds presented by Dr. Down.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm requesting permission to apply for the Elementary Secondary Education Act federal funds. That includes Title I, Title II, Title IV, and Title V. The total amount of the application is estimated to be $1,466,954.11. And you can see the breakout for each of the federal programs below. These are estimates. The actual allocations we aren't notified of those until around October, November. On the second page, you can see a brief description for each of the programs, what's covered. Our three Title I schools are Albert Harris, Patrick Henry, and Middle School. And so the funds help to cover class size reduction teachers at the elementary level. Try to keep class sizes no more than 1 to 20. Honestly, we usually range about 1 to 15, especially in the lower grades. That way we can provide some individualized attention, small group work, to give our students what they need to have that strong foundation going forward. It also pays for our funds an avid elective teacher at the middle school, and then instructional coordinators at all three schools. This also helps to fund parent involvement and family literacy activities for our Title I schools. For Title II, those funds are used for signing performance incentives for English and mathematics teachers at Albert Harris Elementary, as well as professional development at Martinsville High School. And then Title IV, those funds are used for GoTech at the middle school and STEM classes at Martinsville Middle School. And also it's been used to help with the social emotional learning, some of our work on restorative practices with students, and also the Performing Arts Academy. And then finally, Title V is used for signing and performance incentives for Martinsville High School math department.
Is there any questions? I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the federal consolidated funds application as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Gibbons?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have the Title III application presented by Dr. Vaughn.
Hi,
Dr. Vaughn.
I'm here requesting school board's permission to apply for the Title III Part A Language of English Learners and Immigrant Students Grant Funds in the amount of $13,212.13 funded from last year. We use this funds, about $10,000 of that for student support and academic enrichment. It has to be a supplement to the other programs that we have. We cannot supplant, so it's to support just our EL students, and about $2,500 of that to support effective instruction and family outreach. So we have family nights and some activities that helps to fund.
Any questions here? I'd like to entertain a motion to approve Title III application as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Dillard?
Yes.
Ms. Givens?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for reaching out to our family.
Next, we have the VPSA resolution presented by Steve Tatum.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dave.
I stand before you tonight to request your approval of the VPSA resolution that's included in your board packet. The VPSA, otherwise as we call it, is the Virginia Public School Authority Grant Program, and the section Virginia Public School Authority has multiple facets, and the piece of it that we're discussing tonight is the school educational technology portion. The authority issues its school educational technology portion to be used primarily to make grants to establish a computer-based instructional and testing system for the standards of learning, and to develop the capability for high school internet connectivity at high schools, followed by middle schools, and then followed by elementary schools. And the grant is not to exceed $184,800, and it includes in the project classroom and multimedia computers, internet-ready local area network capability, to assure adequate high-speed and high-bandwidth capability within our schools, instructional software, and handheld devices. All of these 5 different categories we use at some level or another every day that Martinsville City schools are open, and even when the schools aren't open. Administrators and central office staff, these things are crucial to the continued performance of Martinsville City Schools. So I present this resolution to you for your approval.
Mr. Tatum, any questions? I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the VPSA resolution as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Dillard?
Yes.
Ms. Givens?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Motion's carried. Thank you. Next, the VSBA Media Honor Roll nomination presented by Dr. Talley.
Thank you. Madam Chairman and board members, I'd like to submit for the VSBA Honor Roll media presentation this year, Ms. Monique Hall from the Martinsville Bulletin. Ms. Hall has done an outstanding job of relaying the news and getting out just essential stories for us this year. We're very appreciative of her work and the accuracy of what it is that she brings. So I'd like to submit to the board that we recommend her for the VSBA Media Honor Roll.
Any questions? So this is Ms. Monique Holland,
Yes,
correct?
Monique.
Thank you for covering us.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Excellent job.
I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the VSBA Media Honor Roll nomination as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Dillard?
Yes.
Ms. Givens?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. So next we have the appointment of superintendent designees. And this is the recommendation from Dr. Talley to appoint a designee in his absence for school year 2023-2024. And they are in this order. Correct.
This is the order.
Dr. Angela Dowling, Assistant Superintendent of Instruction, Dr. Cynthia Topley, Executive Director of Special Education and Student Services, and Mr. Travis Clemens, Executive Director of Administrative Services. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve appointment of superintendent designees as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Dillard?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
The motion is carried. Next are authorization for superintendent to assign personnel presented by Mrs. Gibbons.
Dr. Towling has submitted this to us in accordance with section 2.21-297 below the Code of Virginia. Please take action on this grant authority to assign personnel according to for the next school year. Sorry, maybe if I put the glasses on. Do I need to read okay. So basically, we're just giving him permission to assign the teachers, principals, and assistant principals to the various buildings as he sees fit. And so I need a motion to accept this. Okay?
I second.
Ms. Dillard?
Yes.
Ms. Gibbons?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Thank you.
Next, the application for the DHSL participation presented by Dr. Dixon.
Good evening again. Every high school that is a public high school in the state of Virginia who wishes to participate in Virginia High School League competitions, whether they be academic or scholastic, they have to receive permission from their school boards. They also have to submit an application, and they have to submit an application, and the application has to be approved. So I'm standing here before you requesting that Martinsville High School's application to be a member in the Virginia High School League be approved this year.
And what is the cost of that?
The cost, it's $800 for each school plus an additional $35 for each sport that you have, that you plan on participating in. That $3,489 is the summation total for that, and that also has a piece entitled in that for insurance purposes as well. So with that, you also get insurance that's carried through the Virginia High School League for catastrophic type events.
So what is the total again? I'm sorry.
$3,489.50.
So on the application fee, it has a balance of $800. So will we add to that? or
Yes,
how
they
does that-
check each sport that's on there.
So then you will add to that and then
Yeah.
balance it out.
So the 800 is the flat fee,
Flat fee.
and then you add on 35
For each varsity
for each
sport.
varsity sport, and we have 22 varsity sports.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
And you get insurance with Vacor, which is
And you get
students.
insurance,
Accident for students.
accident insurance for students. Yeah.
Is this secondary insurance
They
or
do.
primary?
This is.
That's I want to say it's primary insurance, but we also offer students, or we have offered students in the past additional supplemental insurance pieces that they could take on too.
Okay, I know sometimes they offer, there's a second insurance if you don't have insurance, and then if you don't, it becomes primary then.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir. But I believe that to be the case, but I can research it and get back with you.
You're saying this will cover the student
If they don't have insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, that's
I think
good to
that's
know.
right.
It's I don't know the breakdown for every little thing
Uh-huh.
because there's some intricate details associated, but I believe it more or less takes care of any catastrophic insurance related or accident related
We hope
type
not to have any
situation.
of those.
Right. Right. I'm not sure like if it would take everything. I want to be clear about that, but it does cover some things.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Dixon.
Thank you.
I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the application for DHSL participation as presented.
So moved.
A second?
Ms. Dillard?
Yes.
Ms. Gibbons?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dr. Dixon.
Next matters from, superintendent report.
Okay. We had a fairly busy month with school closing and wrapping up. Just want to thank everybody who helped us the following weeks. National School Nurse Appreciation Week. Schools are very kind to nurses. I want to thank Felicia Preston and her staff for what they do to take care of our kids every day. Teacher Appreciation Week, which was really celebrating all the schools. I thank our administrators for making sure that our teachers, felt appreciated, which is very nice. I also had a chance to go to the governor's school luncheon, which was very nice, and to look at the ceremony there and talk with some of our students who spent pretty much a year and a half or 2 years there. It was an excellent program. I also attended the district track meet, Piedmont district track meet, and had congratulations to Mr. Dawson, Coach Dawson, and the staff. Appreciate the special needs group and the teachers there who invited us to the special needs breakfast. That is my group. I attended also the prom dinner with them, and the students did an excellent job. The Big M ceremony, I want to thank Dr. Dixon for hosting and all the principals for getting the certificates, and especially this time of Dr. Dallin and her staff, being one person short, but to get all the ceremonies, certificates and everything on time, of course, I'm still getting all those signed. Superintendent's breakfast, we just had a wonderful time. Brittany Porter did an outstanding job, and it was just well attended, and we really appreciate that. Endowment golf tournament, I want to thank the board for that. Wasn't able to attend a lot because it was on Big M Day, so I spent a lot of time at the lunch and a lot of tears there, of course. If you haven't been to one of those, you need to go, and it's some real stories of students who really appreciate teachers. And the gamut runs all the way from elementary to high. It's not just the current teachers they have. A lot of those students remember people in first and second grade that inspired them, and it's just heartwarming. Attended UVA steering committee. I was fortunate to be reappointed this year to that board. It looks like I'm going to spend more time at UVA than Pat, but and I have a grandson who is definitely thinking about trying to head that way in law. But a great time there, and the policies. We will be focusing on social emotional learning this year, and also with teacher support. And I think it's going to be a very good year. We're going to have 3 big workshops at UVA, and it will include all the superintendents in the state. So looking forward to working with Dr. Robinson and his group at UVA again this year. Did meet with Dr. Coombs in Region 6. Unfortunately, it was the time in which the graduation shooting happened there. But they did meet us online. They would not leave Richmond that day because actually coincided on the day before, and they were in schools in Richmond. But talked to her about a lot of our concerns: accreditation, attendance, the results of the pandemic, how long, how flexible accreditation is going to be, and we still have some of those things that could weigh out this summer. I think it's 1 or 2 more board meetings before the fall.
I have one this week.
One. So we don't know. We're waiting. Everybody's on edge. We've been waiting for budget, which still has not been passed yet. So fortunately, the federal government decided to go ahead and have a budget at least for 2 years. So now we're hoping that'll trickle down to the state, then of course to the localities, and we can really find out what it is that we're dealing with. And then we had the Piedmont Art Board retreat, 4-hour retreat, which was very good. It's my pleasure to serve on that board for 6 years. We appreciate Piedmont Arts and all the programs it has brought in free, and all those programs have been free for our students. And they're state of the arts, and I enjoy them all except for the reptiles. Not into the boa constrictors, but the kids love them and they pet them, and that's just not me. But I appreciate everything that they do, and again, it's SOL funded and granted, and focus is on SOL. So I always like that about Piedmont Arts. So we've had a great relationship with Mr. Kingston, and it's been a great 6 years on board. And I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Powell. Next, matters from the board. Mr. Jones.
As we end up the year, I just want to thank the staff, administration for another bang-up job, great job. Went to a wonderful graduation. Dr. Dixon commend you on the ceremony. So just keep going strong, keep your head up, and we appreciate everything you do.
I just want to thank you all for your hard work. You really did a great job with our kids this year, and I pray that we'll do the same next year.
I just wanted to report a little bit about the last Governor's School Board meeting. We have all of our slots filled for next school year, and we have 13 juniors that will be coming in and have 12 seniors. And I may have those numbers backwards, but I think that's right. And we even actually have a wait list of students who are interested in going to go to school if somebody happens to change their mind, choose a different route. And that budget was waiting just like everyone else's. We couldn't move forward with that until we hear something out of the state. But I would also like to say great year. Thank you for all you do. Thank you to the bus drivers, the custodians, secretaries, every aspect of the staff, the teachers, principals. We really appreciate everything you do.
So I did have the opportunity to attend the Big M luncheon. I hadn't been able to do that in a couple of years. We haven't had it, or have we had it? COVID we did.
COVID years, but then we had it was last year. Yeah, last year was the first time.
So it was very inspiring. Don't sit with Dr. Downing because she cries. And
Donna cries.
It was very inspiring to hear the young people talk about, and not just academically, it's the emotional support that you give. And we appreciate that's much needed now. And also attended field day for SPED students, and that again was very emotional and just enlightening to see those kids work so hard. And then of course Big M Awards, thank you Dr. Dixon and all of the principals who serve our kids. And then graduation was amazing. Dr. Dixon didn't set us straight in the sun, but it was cold, Dr. Dixon. And you say you can't win, right? You can't win. But thank you for that, and just thank you guys for a great school year. Thank you for all your hard work and your effort and that you put into each student. My favorite place to go is the nail place, and I get a lot of conversation about the principals and the teachers, and they're always just happy to attend Martinsville City Public Schools. So thank you so much. Is there any registered citizen? Excuse me. Reminder of dates. June 19th will be closed. Observance of Juneteenth holiday. July 3rd and 4th. Oh, we're having a prayer service Thursday at High Street Baptist Church. Just praying for the community and students at whole. Dr. Callie's going to be one of our speakers. If you all can come out, it's at High Street Church on Fed Street at 7 o'clock.
And this is our second time. I want to say this deal has been modest because last year we had it Refuge.
Was it last year?
Yeah,
The first year of COVID.
The first year that we had of COVID, and it was very powerful. So if you get a chance to come out, it's prayer for the whole community, and it's awesome. A lot of pastors.
This Thursday at 7 o'clock. June 19th, again, observance of Juneteenth holiday. July 3rd and 4th, the closed observance for Independence Day. July 10th is the next regular board meeting. July 31st, the staff returns. That's not that far away. August 1st and 2nd, administrative retreat, August 2nd and 4th, new teacher orientation. August 9th, open house. August 11th, convocation. August 14th, students return, first day of school. Do we have any unregistered citizen comments? Any communications? I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Yes. Yes.